Welcome back to another track day tutorial video. We're at Mallory Park again on the BMW Performance Academy. I've got another glamorous guest, Nigel, my culprit for the day.
Culprit victim.
Yeah. Just give me a little bit of background on your track day experience.
Very limited. This is my fifth. All five have been with BMW Motorrad. This will be the third one in the UK, two overseas in Almeria, so that's effectively it.
Okay, so I'm going to take him out now. It's actually been a little bit wet this morning. He's drying up now. I'm going to take Nigel out and then we'll have a look at him on the onboard camera, and then from that I'll give him some one-to-one tuition and we'll see how much faster and safer I can make it in one day.
Good, thank you. So I'm quite hot and thirsty now.
Yeah.
And so I feel pretty parched. How do you keep hydrated when you're racing for 20 laps?
Well, that is an excellent question, and it can be answered by the good people at Holy. Now, hydrating yourself on a track day is very important. Unfortunately, what I see on track days a lot is people drinking energy drinks. This is one I've made earlier. You simply tip the sachet in your pot. It's far cheaper to make this. Energy drinks are normally £2 or £3 a can, and this stuff works out at 80 cents per 500ml. So if you're Scottish like me, you'll enjoy a bargain. Now, you shake it, you get your caffeine content, you get your hydration, and your energy levels are going to be much more improved on your next track day. So make sure you check these out. If you use my discount codes, which are on the screen now, you'll receive either £5 off or a 10% discount on your first order. Check out the starter set because that's going to be your best option for trying this stuff out. And they've got loads of cool flavours. I promise you won't regret it. There's so many flavours to choose from, and I've had a sample of pretty much all of them here and I haven't disliked one yet, so you can't go wrong. Let's get back to Nigel to see how he's getting on. Rather than me talking about body position, and for people at home that are watching this that are bored of me talking about body position, I'm going to get my dad to concentrate to see if we can both learn something.
Right.
Because excellent.
Yes.
He's taught me 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He's not really talked about my body position since, so I'm going to actually get to do some work. Because as you can see in the background, he's just gossiping, not actually doing anything. And he's on my clock today. I said that you taught me 20 years ago how to ride a motorbike, and I've not listened since. So I thought it was about time.
Still haven't got the hang of it.
No. So I thought I better get you to teach Nigel instead.
Okay. So Nigel, body position. I ride on the road, as most of us do, jumping around the bike, using any body position, looks a bit daft, doesn't really serve any purpose. However, come to a racetrack and it's everything, in my opinion. If you're kind of rider that doesn't do anything, that sits right in the middle of the bike, rides round, leans over, the first thing to start with is just bending that inside elbow. See, I bend that elbow, my head comes to where the mirror is, where the mirror should be, look through the corner. Centre of gravity goes more forward to the inside, puts a little bit of weight on the front, and if you can combine that by putting a little bit of pressure on the inside bar, counter steering, which I don't like to talk about, it makes the bike turn left, and it just helps the bike. The bike will always want to go in a straight line. Introduce a little bit of body position, suddenly the bike wants to turn. It's nicer for you, it's less physical, uses less energy. If you can combine that by just relaxing this outside elbow, get it connected to the tank, be at one with the bike. After that, a little bit of pressure on your pegs, slide your bum into position, in line with your head. Everything's nice and level, helping the bike turn.
So your foot stays on the peg in that position?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so feet position
yeah.
is important as well. Feet back, nice and tidy on the balls of your feet,
Yeah.
gives you an extra pair of shock absorbers, gives you more control with the bike. If you're on a racetrack and your feet are all the way forward, you've got a lot less leverage. Also, you've got brand new Alpine Stars on, you're going to touch them down, you're going to wreck your boots. So being Scottish, I never like wrecking my boots. So
Even though they're free.
So feet back gives you more control. Also, when you're sort of moving your bum around, a little bit of pressure, you've just got more leverage and more control. Once you're in position, mid-corner, really important to relax. Let the tyres, let the suspension do everything it wants. If you're tense on the bike, it's not letting the bike do its thing. If you can relax a little bit, then the bike's going to be much happier. If you don't scare the bike, it won't scare you. If you're tense, uses more energy, upsets the bike. So mid-corner, there's no need to be holding on tight. Just relax.
How much pressure do you put on your right knee to turn left?
Well, I think you do that naturally. There's a lot of instructors who say, oh, you've got to weight the outside peg, you've got to weight the inside peg. In off-road riding, very, very important. But really, all of your weight's in the centre of the bike. You will be pushing on the pegs to change direction, but it's not something that I don't think you have to be particularly aware of or put a big effort into. So you will be doing that anyway. Most important thing is your foot position and back on the balls of your feet. Also, mid-corner, just stretch your inside knee out a bit. Doesn't look daft. You're maybe not talking about knee down here, but stretching that inside knee out a little bit pulls a little bit more weight to the inside. If you're entering a fast corner, acts as a bit of a sail, a little bit of drag, helps you turn in as well. And try and maintain that body position all the way through the corner. Quite important just to finish the corner off and then get upright. Once the bike's upright, then climb back into position. If you move your body or jump around on the bike while you're accelerating out the corner, it just upsets the balance at the wrong time. Might get a bit of a wiggle on, might lose a bit of grip. It's just a little bit of risk involved. So there's no problem just getting the bike upright, then climbing back into the middle of the bike once you're upright and you're away. And all of this stuff feels a little bit alien if you don't do it. So it's just a case of kind of practicing it, keeping it going, let it come as second nature. Other important thing with body position is trying to be one step ahead of the track. You watch any top level racing, you see when the guys get off the throttle, go for the brakes, they're in position at the same time. Gets it out of the way, they're not unsettling the bike as they head into the corner, they're doing everything at once. Again, that might feel a bit weird if you haven't done it before, but if you get into doing it and practice it at a slow pace, if you're with an instructor, watch what they're doing, copy them.
So you're braking and moving your body position at the same time?
You watch any racing, they're heading into a braking situation. As they brake, they'll do that. They'll do that. And it just gets out of there. They're in position, the bike knows where it is with the rider, and then they can take care of the rest. And it does feel a little bit weird, but if you practice at a slow pace, you're not at your maximum pace, you can practice it and it's going to be perfectly safe, and then you'll do it as second nature, and then as you build up speed, you build up your pace, you just keep doing it.
So even under braking, you're not rammed against the tank?
If you're braking into fast corner, important to get your bum back first, so you can then brace yourself, and as you're braking into corner, you can let that force, that braking force that you've got, just make you come back into the middle of the bike and get into a nice comfortable position for the corner. Chicanes, when you change direction, say you're going through a left-right chicane, as you're heading through the left of the chicane, before you get to that apex, think about pushing yourself to the right hand side of the bike. You can see I'm quite high in the bike here, but then the bike will just change direction and follow me. So again,
so that's as you're coming into the apex, you're actually then moving across to the right.
As I'm getting towards the apex, I'm already doing
moving
this
across,
and already helping the bike to change direction. So instead of waiting until I'm at the apex and then heaving it and losing time, the bike just flips and follows me. Again, uses less energy, but again feels a little bit alien moving around on the bike at that point. But if you keep practicing it, then it comes as second nature. And then you go to other racetracks, and then suddenly you're ahead of the track and you're doing all that stuff.
And pretty much everything's done with the front brake in terms of braking. You're not really using much of the back
Yeah,
brake.
majority of your braking will always come from the front brake. Modern bikes now, they're all 4 strokes. You get BMW S1000 double Rs like this, they've got good engine braking, slipper clutches. It's your back shifting that's giving you all the rear
The rear
braking,
brake,
slowing down part, but the majority is always coming from the front brake. Using the rear brake, only going to upset the electronics and things, so it's best to time your gear shifts for your engine braking.
Yeah.
But if your riding styles evolve by using the rear brake and it's a comfort thing and you feel happier, then that's okay as well, but it's not actually going to slow you down that much.
I'll leave that alone on track then.
Leave it alone.
You're now going to have thousands of people in the comments talking about rear brake.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about how you taught me not to use it in the early part of my career, and then 10 years in decided that I needed to use it?
Yeah, well, the early part of your career, there was too much information. So, rear brake. Well, you started riding RS 125 Aprilia, 2-stroke, getting a rear brake. The front end just hops around, it skids around, it backs in. You're out of control. Wasn't going to work. But then you jumped onto bigger bikes, and the rear brake I would tell you to use for pulling you into apexes, stopping wheelies.
But
It's a whole different. Wasn't anything about slowing down.
Old dog, new tricks. I couldn't figure it out, and then I had to retire, all because of you.
All because of the back brake.
Meanwhile, he taught Taz. That's why he still rides.
Yeah, I taught him properly. Well, you were the guinea pig.
All the
Does
mistakes.
it still work? We tried it with Taylor.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So that. Yeah. But yeah.
For most track day riders, we teach just using the front brake. It's less to think about, and it's all a track day rider needs generally.
Yeah, we've instructed a lot of track day riders attempting to use the rear brake, and it never really works. It's not particularly dangerous, but it's not effective and costs more time than saves any time.
And one other thing to think about as well, I suppose.
It is. It's very difficult if you've started as a teenager and not done a lot of track stuff, and you use both your brakes on the road, because I use the rear brake on the road all the time. Love it. Especially an ABS rear brake. I think it's the best road riding safety tool ever, but it serves no purpose at all on the racetrack.
Well, I think it's time for our free lunch, which is included on the BMW
Absolutely.
Motorbike Performance Academy day.
Free lunch.
Yeah, you heard correctly.
Sounds like my kind of lunch.
The one thing I want to talk about now is what I call free time on track. So your body position's great now, you're doing everything right, and it's all coming back to all your riding skills from before. One area that's easy for you to make up time is on the straight, because this bike's got a lot of power, but this is the scary part as well, because they are really fast. So the way to practice it is basically, once the bike's upright and we're going straight, don't be afraid to rev it as hard as you can. What we're doing at the minute is short shifting, going up straight, going third and fourth, which feels nice, and to ride around safely and smoothly, that's what you do, and that feels nice. But to go to that next bit of finding a little bit of lap time, we've just got to rev it a little bit more,
A bit harder.
in each gear.
Yeah.
Mallory's not the easiest track to practice it, because it's, by the time you open the throttle on an S1000 at the end of the straight there, you're already here.
Yeah.
So that's a little thing we're going to work on.
Good.
I can't really see if you're doing this yourself, but this might be for people at home that are watching this. Another place where people tend to waste time is in the braking zone. So when someone closes the throttle, there's often a delay between them closing the throttle and grabbing the brake. And that, again, is just free time, where you should really either be slowing down using the brake or accelerating.
Right.
And if you're not doing one of those things, then you're kind of wasting time.
Yeah.
Because you could either still be accelerating harder to the corner and braking harder, or getting on the brake and get yourself stopped. So they're two little pointers.
Yeah.
But really, you're doing everything well. We're going way faster than we were this morning.
Yeah.
And it's all about just taking small increments.
Well, I can
of
tell
lap
the
time.
difference because this morning the flies were hitting the back end of the helmet. They're now hitting the
Look
front.
at how many's in the front now. Look at that.
Yeah, you see, that's the difference.
Yeah. Wicked. All right, we've got one more session in a second, so we'll get that on the 360, and most importantly, we'll see how much faster you've gone. I can't tell you till the end of the day, but we'll see how much time we've saved.
Excellent.
I just want to say well done today, Nigel. Your improvement has been excellent.
Thank you.
Have you got any questions before we leave?
Yeah, I just want to do it again.
Well, that is good, because we are back in a month's time in October, and I'm going to get the camera back out and we can see how much more you can improve.
Well, I'm going to book onto it.
Perfect.
It's in September.
September.
September,
14th.
September the 12th. I've already done my research.
There you go. Look at this. It's selling itself, this school. I don't even need to say the words.
I'm hoping to have some of that drink as well.
And don't forget the discount code.
forget the
Links is
discount
in the description. Okay. I'll bring
But
some.
anyway, but thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
cheers, thank you.
And thank you for cameraman, Dad.
Well done.
See you in the next one.
Well done.